Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another astounding episode of the Simple Mind Sports Show. We're all fathers here. Ray's a little ahead of the game, but Bobby and I have young children. Everyone's heard of the Three Bears and Goldilocks. And let me tell you right now, this won't be the first time we've referenced a child's book on this program. Certainly will not be the last. But the New England Patriots have a Goldilocks syndrome problem right now. And it could turn from bad to worse very quickly if they don't snap out of it. And mostly I'm talking about being fucking cheap, okay? So I want to get into that tonight. I want to tell you exactly what that Goldilocks syndrome is for the New England Patriots. We will certainly do that. We'll talk about everything we're going to talk about tonight. But as we always do, let's start with little opening takes. Raymond, why don't you kick us off tonight?
Thank you there, Richard. For free agency that starts next week, I want to come out of free agency knowing that you can trade back confidently from the number 4 overall pick, meaning I want the Patriots to be the highest spender and get huge needs. Offensive tackle Ronnie Staley, and defensive tackle Milton Williams. If you secure those two players, a lot less stress will come, and you can hit a home run with your number 4 overall pick. You can trade back and do lots of things with that.
Playing a little coach GM, are we?
Trying.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually toilet GM.
Yeah, that's what we do here. Toilet GM. I'm sure eventually they'll call, right? I'm sure they've just been biding their time on that phone call to you. Yeah. Look, Elliot Will's surely going to fuck this whole thing up, so they will be looking for help shortly. Bobby, your opening take.
The deals are already being made. We've seen the news come through with trades. There are all pros being traded. There are moves to be made for the Patriots out there. We'll see if they do it. But one thing that is for certain, they need to address every need in free agency to go in with a viable team, because this is not the draft where you can reach for a need. The Patriots that they have for a need, they need to be able just to go in and, somewhat like Raymond said, just draft the best player. They can't go in knowing they're going to that we need a this or that because it'll end up being a bust. They need to address it first.
Did you just steal my take?
That right there, folks, is called a stolen take. However, a professional does that by pivoting off using different words. But that was
come on, that was word for word.
The same exact take. We'll review it and see if Bobby's under suspension moving forward.
I feel like that was a better idea than his was.
It was certainly eloquent, said more eloquently.
Yeah, well, obviously, anything's more said than
the floor is very low for that, and you don't get credit for being more eloquent than Ray. That's
no.
But basically, you guys said the exact same thing. Let me switch gears. The Boston Bruins, speaking of making moves, they finally made one of somewhat significance. Not really. They moved on from Trent Fredrick. What many are hoping and maybe anticipating, the first of many moves. Will they be daring enough, brave enough, good enough at their job to move on from one of the big 3, 4, call it even 6? We'll work down the roster of the Bruins, play a little top 5, if you will, on who the Bruins should be moving, who we'd like them to move based on kind of who we don't like and what they could get for them. But it's time. Everyone recognizes it. I think the organization recognizes it. It's time for the Bruins to pivot really quickly. They'll never go in the tank, but it looks like they're about to make a move into retooling, at least a heavy retooling, not like we've seen for the last decade plus on the fringes. They've got to make a bigger move here. So we'll talk about the names that they could do that with. And that's what we'll talk about tonight. We'll start with some Pat scraps. What's going on with the Patriots, the draft, the latest news with them. Not the best news from your defensive front, boys. I don't know if you saw that. Please keep Superfan Patrick out of the fucking opening, okay? Because this is our time. This is our safe space, all right? Love you, Patrick. Mean it.
But shut the fuck up, Patrick.
Shut up for a second, okay? Just shut up for 1 second. Okay, we got to laugh at him. That's good. We're going to do 10 questions with a guy named Rob, all about the Patriots free agency. So big Patriots heavy here at the start of the show. We'll do a little Bruins rebuild question, a mystery Dr. Big Max Big Brain, and a Simplest Minds of the Week. As always, welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show. Friday Rewind. The Queen abides. I made you guys do this again on Wednesday. Thank you for that. March 5th. Welcome to the show. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot. Welcome, and if you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. Dashing as always. Bobby's got a new room. Ray, if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please rate, subscribe, review. Tell your friends. As always, tell your mothers. We're living in a world of algorithms, folks. So if you are tuning in, if you do listen from time to time, please just slap the subscribe or the like or throw a little comment there. Tell us to fuck off. It doesn't matter. The words don't matter. It's just the contributions. Superfan Patrick single-handedly brings us to the #1 New England sports podcast on iHeartRadio with his 450 comments a night. That's just telling us to fuck off. You can do that too. I know you can. Go to the comments in Spotify or whatever the hell you're listening to. Tell us to F off, please. And if you don't do that, at least tell your mothers. Please go to simplemindsports.com. Join the newsletter. That's an easy one, too. Every Friday, we'll send this to you. You don't even have to search it. You just click it, listen, laugh, ignore us. Doesn't matter. Again, just click it. It's all about the clicks in today's world. Speaking of the clicks, beautiful segue, Rich. Patriots Goldilocks syndrome is real, and it has to do with the wide receivers, which if you move away from the line of scrimmage, we all know is probably we know it's the #1 need for the Patriots. It's been the #1 need for the Patriots since, I don't know, Randy Moss, Deion Branch, whatever you would call it. They have not had a feeder system for wide receivers in this franchise probably ever. I mean, if you really think about it. And now you've got a top 3 pick in Drake May, what many are calling a franchise quarterback. He's projected as a potential top 5 guy in the NFL by a lot of folks. I don't know if I'd go there.
Who's saying this?
Oh yeah, I've read many things projecting him as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He's won 1 game and statistically is a bottom 3 quarterback in the NFL. We're not doing that today. We've done that a lot on this show. Bash Drake May.
Not today.
What we're doing is saying they need to give him some options and some help on the receiving core, not named Demario Douglas or Kendrick Bourne. And so far in this offseason, Bobby, what they've done is said, Deebo Samuel for a 5th. No, thank you. He's too fat and spicy. We don't want him in New England. T. Higgins, too expensive. Even with that non-committal franchise tag, that's really not going to cost 2 first-round picks. No. We said we were in on him, but we'd rather do the offensive defensive line thing. Chris Godwin, too hurt. Cooper Kupp, too old. DK Metcalf, too dumb. Christian Kirk just got cut, but he's too sucky. Devontae Adams, he hates Josh McDaniels. Reportedly, they called A.J. Brown. They called the Philadelphia Eagles about A.J. Brown. They kindly, if they could just transfer what they said to the Patriots to our algorithm, we'd be in good shape because they told them to fuck off.
Yep.
And Chris Olave is the next name to get disappointed about Patriots fans because they're not in on him either.
Brain's too scrambled. That won't work.
No one's quite perfect enough for Josh McDaniels' systems in the Patriots pocketbook is really what it comes down to. What are your thoughts here on the reports that seems like we've got backpedaling and just lined up excuses for the Patriots not making a big move at the wide receiver position like they said they would for the last, again, whatever many years you want to pin it back to.
Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a failure to act. We've, as we stated before, that there are deals happening, and these teams with a plan are going to go ahead and execute what they're doing. The Patriots have shown that they just kind of sit and wait for things to just kind of fall in their lap. So what they're going to say is they're going to sit there and wait to see all the players that get cut here right before free agency, to see everybody that's available, and then they're just going to wait to see who wants to sign with them. They're not going to make aggressive moves, and anything that they do actually inquire about will be a swing over the fence that they're not going to get. So they just I don't think that they have targets. That's what's bothersome. We'll see. I'm sure they're going to throw a bunch of money at Ronnie Stanley because I think it's clear that he wants to hit the market and wants to get the big offer. I think they actually have a pretty decent shot at getting him, or else he would have already re-signed.
Let's lay off. Let's just stick with the wide receivers for now, because I think you have a point with maybe not Stanley individually, but the lines. Right. Where's your level of, let's call it, concern or aggravation for the fact that Mike Vrabel, who was the prince who was promised, brought in here, and it seems like it's Tricky Dicky all over again. Elliot Wolf, that slimy fuck. Everything I read and watch from Elliot Wolf, he is just another slimy corporate stooge. The last thing I read or heard today was the quote was something, and I don't have in front of me, I should have brought it to the show, but when asked about last year, what he said was he wished that there was more preparation going into free agency, which should have been his job. Yeah. But he was, that's a subtle shot at all the people that were in charge of scouting and doing it. So when he made the final decision, he didn't have enough information in front of him.
No. What happened last year was Robert Kraft said it was all Bill's fault. Let's resign all the guys and watch them shine as Gerard Mayo takes over this team in this organization. And we're going to win all these games, but yet they just had the same bag of shit and they still only won 4 games. I see this happening again this year with Jacoby Myers. That's the name that keeps popping up. He's the name that you keep seeing in these Jacoby Myers is going to come here. Phil Perry wrote about a reunion could happen last season, 87 receptions, 1,027 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's not a number one guy, but he's one of those familiar guys. You bring him in, maybe he makes the fans happy. I won't be happy, but that's what they keep doing. They keep recycling these old Patriots guys coming in, and it's not working. You got to go out and get a stud. You got to get a true number one, and until that happens, like Elliot Wolf,
they're not going to get that guy this year. I wouldn't even focus on that. That's not happening this year from the receiver perspective. This year has to be about meat and potatoes. Just fill everything else out.
Look, the more salient point, I think, what I'm trying to get out of this is not a Mike Vrabel thing. Okay, Superfan Patrick, let's give a little shine. Until I ask for it, Ray, enough.
It's a good one, though. It's a good one.
Elliot Wolf is a piece of shit. He needs to be gone. The Crafts are clutching the purse still. Not surprising, no receiver moves will be made in this free agency. Look, you're all missing the point. The Crafts are about to spend a ton of fucking money. Okay, they are about to blow you out of the water with the money that they spend. It's going to happen. It has to happen per the CBA. They do it every 3 years. We've been saying this on the show for a long time. They're gonna spend money. The problem with this whole wide receiver thing, and Debo being fat, Higgins being expensive, Godwin being hurt, Metcalf can't run routes, blah 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 blah, is they are playing the PR game while also still playing the value game. And what we were sold is Mike Vrabel is a different can of worms than Bill Belichick and the regime before. When it really all comes back to Robert Kraft and Jonathan Kraft and the Kraft's philosophy of value over talent, they will always do value over talent. Okay, that's what the wide receiver market, and that's what the wide receiver approach now is telling us about the New England Patriots. The caveat I'll give you is the lines for 2 reasons. Let's see if Mike Vrabel has an actual impact. Number 2, generally, unless we're talking a franchise left tackle, they're just not as expensive as wide receivers. You're not dumping $35 million into a T. Higgins for a guy to play right tackle or left guard, or So we saw him do it in 2021. What were their biggest signings in 2021? Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, tight ends, which statistically are the 4th lowest paying position in football. So they went to the top of market with them, but in real cash, you're still $20 million less than what the top wide receiver makes. You understand? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
They're still playing within the Kraft's rule of financial values. And what that means is you're not going to land one of these top-end wide receivers, either in trade or in free agency. You're going to land a Darius Slay or Jacoby Myers, which, by the way, Ray, I would love Jacoby Myers back in this team. He would be great.
It's just not a flashy.
Blow out Kendrick Bourne and play Jacoby Myers.
But it's just not one of those flashy pickups is what I'm saying, Like, you'd want a Devontae Adams or one of the, like, T. Higgins. Everyone has their sights set on this superstar wide receiver. You're just getting an old recycled guy back. Yeah, he's great. He doesn't drop the ball, but it's not anything like...
They need some dependability at wide receiver. They've had people that literally cannot be in the place they're supposed to be.
Jacoby Myers would bring that to you, but Bobby had it right when he said that. What I would like to see, and I wrote this on SimpleMindSports.com, go do in the newsletter, nut up Elliot Wolf, identify a guy about not what he's about right now, not about DK Metcalf right now and whatever system he's running right now and whatever routes you see him run right now. Identify him in your own system and project him forward and go get him. If Randy Moss was evaluated for what he was in Oakland, you wouldn't have got him for a 4th-round pick in 2006 to go set the NFL record for touchdowns in 2007. Obviously, Bill Belichick had an innate ability at the top of his game to bring depressed assets in, project them to what they could be with him, and elevate their game. That's what coaching and GM work is about. It's not about looking about what you did and then basing it on that. That's stupid. Anybody can do that. Be better than that. That's what we should expect. I have no faith Elliott Wolf can do it. Can Vrabel and his crew? Maybe. Yeah. The more we hear out of that is Elliott Wolf is still a mouthpiece, but it seems like we've got a non-hostile takeover with Mike Vrabel and his crew. I think they're taking the reins.
Put him in a locker. They're just putting him in a locker and say, "Hey, nerd, shut the fuck up. We got it from here."
Yeah,
I don't remember much from last week, but I do remember shitting on Elliott Wolf for crying during his press conference.
Yeah, he did. He legitimately cried. Yeah, he did.
He was trembling.
Yeah.
Not enough has been made of that, quite frankly. He looks like a huge pussy.
I haven't heard anybody talk about it. He was trembling.
Yeah.
Vrabel was sitting over there with a bat, just like hitting it in the palm of his hand.
He made a bunch of dumb comments. He also made a bunch of comments about how it was great to see how Mike Vrabel has grown and developed as like a leader. Like, here's Elliott Wolf, who's literally done nothing, talking about someone that has actual produced results in the NFL. I can't stand him.
Yeah, he's a pompous corporate squid. I'd like to see him gone. Let me just touch on a couple more things here. We'll do the big free agency stuff with 10 questions guy named Rob. Greg Bedard pointed this out. Look, every 3 years in the NFL, you have to hit a minimum of cash spent on your roster. The Patriots need to spend $290 million in the next 2 years to hit that minimum. Okay, Patrick? They're going to spend money because they have to spend money. I'm not saying that they're going to go out. I just told you they're not moving outside of their value system. They're just forced to do that. And go back and look at the history of the Crafts. They do this every 3 or so years. They cash spend to the minimum, sometimes over, but not mostly. And then they level out. And that's what you see. So they're going to do it. They have to. They have to spend $290 million. The number was like if they spend 105%, they could spend up to $305 million in the next 2 years. So
damn.
Bedard expects them to spend about $190 million of it this year, which means big ass names. You've named a couple, Ray and Bobby. Ronnie Staley, probably the biggest name as a left tackle. Milton Williams, the biggest name as a defensive tackle from the Eagles.
Be wary of him.
Say more.
I wouldn't be necessarily sold on him. He was a rotational player on the Eagles who had the 2 best defensive tackles in the league. And he was someone that, so every time he's in there, Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis is getting double teamed and he's singled on a guard. When he plays on the Patriots, he's going to get double teamed. I'm not going to give him big money.
Bobby,
I would let somebody else pay him. You could get somebody else that's going to end up doing the exact thing he's going to do for the Patriots for a fraction of the cost. There are other players I would sign.
2 things, Bobby. 1, cool. Second thing, our team blows, and anything would be fucking a tremendous help for this team.
Don't get defensive because he shit on your guy, Ray. They're also linked to Harold Landry from the Titans, kind of a Vrabel guy like that, and Patrick McCarry as an offensive guard from the Ravens as well out there. Just real quickly, the last point here I'll make on the news from the Patriots is, unless anybody has anything else to say on that. Good, thanks. Concerns, latest out of Patriots camp about Christian Barmore. Not good. The blood clots are back. They reportedly rushed him, supposedly rushed him back last year when they found out losing every game and getting embarrassed was not in the game plan of a 3-year rebuild. So they had to put Drake May in when they said they weren't going to, and they had to play Christian Barmore when they said they weren't going to, and potentially fucked up his recovery. And now I've read and heard reports that he may never play a down again. So
T's and P's.
So if you go sign your boy Milton Williams, you can't rely on Christian Barmore for that double team. Not necessarily.
That would be devastating if he can't play anymore.
Yeah, that's one more massive hole to fill. I don't know if we talked about it.
So many mother jokes I could just.
I don't know if we talked. I mean, it's too easy.
It was, but
We're talking free agency. There's going to be a lot of holes to fill. Did we? Again, I don't remember last week. Did we talk about Devin Gottschall and
Yes.
the trade? Okay,
We did.
So they're cleaning house.
He might get a 6th rounder or something like that. I mean, he's not going to get a lot. He's not a lot of value.
Well, we're going to talk. I think we're going to talk about that in 10 questions. Let's shift gears here to the draft. Stop me if we talked about this last week too. I don't know if it's news this week or last week. The Patriots love Travis Hunter. Does that scare you, or do you like that, or is that good or bad? Well, let me combine this with Field Yates came out with a report and a couple other guys that he believes the top quarterbacks, probably the 2 top quarterbacks, will be taken in the first 3 picks of the draft, which means very likely Travis Hunter could be there for you at number 4, or potentially another high-end player that's not Cam Ward or Shadon Sanders. Is that how you say his name?
Shador.
That's pretty close. The first time I tried, I didn't even try.
Apparently, I don't know if you heard the reports about that kid, but all of the NFL GMs are coming out saying he's a cocky, arrogant cunt.
Okay, well, we can talk about that if you want. My question
I'm just saying, I thought it was funny.
If Travis Hunter gets to 4 and the Patriots, do you believe the Patriots support? Because I never believe anything out of this.
I believe
shit.
it.
Go ahead.
I believe it for 2 reasons. I believe, one, we have a head coach that historically played both sides of the ball, be it small on offense. So I believe that he probably has a little understanding and belief that Travis Hunter can do this in some way, shape, or form. Also, just he is one of the 2 consensus best players, so the Patriots would be interested. I believe he is the only actual true avenue that the Patriots could have to get a legitimate number 1 receiver if they drafted him at 4 and play him at wide receiver. I think that that's the only way that they legitimately could do it coming out of this year, because he is that good of an athlete. And it is, if he's at 4 and they draft him, he could be that guy.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I don't like anybody that's from that Colorado team. I think he's a bit guy. If he had just been a wide receiver, just been a cornerback, he would not be a top 10 guy. The value is in that 2-way, which he's not really going to be able to do in the NFL. If he does, kudos to him, but I'm not taking him at 4 because of that value. It's an inflated value because of the 2-way thing that he did in college. And all this projection of him that, well, if he gets to spend all of his time focusing on wide receiver, think about the guy he could be. I don't believe in that. He's undersized. I don't like him. Okay. He won on athleticism in a conference that they barely played anybody. I'm out on Travis Hunter. And I don't think the Patriots in on him either, because I don't believe a goddamn thing that comes out of the combine about the draft from these teams, especially ones with high picks, that want to draft linemen. Anybody who likes Travis Hunter from picks 5 to 32, hopefully heard that. And when he's sitting there at 4, the Patriots are on the phone. Where can we get to where we can still get whatever lineman we want to get? That's what I think. I think that's the game they were playing. If they like Travis Hunter, then again, we're in fucking trouble.
It's just a terrible draft. Even if you move back or whatever, it's like a terrible fucking draft. So I think whatever you do,
perfect draft. What the Patriots need to do:
yeah.
line. Get me some fatties. Other than this Will Campbell guy, tiny arms, T-Rex out there. You can't take him at 4, but do you? He doesn't project as a tackle. But
fun fact for you, real quick, before you go. He has 32 and 3/4-inch arms or whatever. No offensive tackle has ever made the Pro Bowl with 33-inch arms or smaller. So therefore, this guy is going to be a bust. You can't take him at 4. I don't like him. He has T-Rex arms. He's a little fucking short guy. Bust.
Another fun fact: your mother's
He's
record
not
for the
short.
night was
No.
44 inches. Actually, it was just a couple of guys. Darkness. Armin Membo climbing the board of the right tackle. Here's what I think. I've looked at some mock drafts just to see where the offensive linemen are going. You got a run of offensive linemen late in the first round, early in the second round. So there's a lot of talk about the Patriots going O-line, D-line, and just stacking as much talent as possible on those lines. I'd be okay with it. And if that means trading back at a 4, and somewhat reaching on a guy like Campbell or whoever else, I'm kind of for it, because like you guys said, the draft sucks. It doesn't seem like there's, unless Abdul Carter falls to you at 4, who's the big guy that you can?
Well, I don't believe that's happening. Yeah,
no. So, not terribly exciting. Trading back and taking a tackle or a guard.
Sounds like the Giants are going to trade up with Tennessee too. They want Cam Ward real bad, so they're going to trade and flip flop, and Carter's still going to be there at 3 for him, and they're going to take him. So I don't
That
think
makes
Carter's going
sense.
to be there. Yeah.
They're a bunch of idiots, so they might do that.
That's the only way Hunter falls to us, I think, though.
Yeah, the quarterbacks have to go in the.
I mean,
first
Shadur.
one. If they don't, and the Patriots just draft at 4, and they take the kid from Michigan, I'll be
Mason Graham, the skinny kid from the skinny defensive tackle.
He's 300 pounds. So like, I
don't think that the Patriots are going to draft him. I don't think that they're going to do that.
That's the two people, though.
I would not
Campbell and
be. I
Mason
wouldn't
Graham.
be surprised if they did. I think they're going interior with their first pick, whether it be at 4 or 6 or 10, or if they trade back, they're going interior. I think we'll see. Until then, let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. The Celtics stopped a 2-game slump with a win against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets on Sunday, 110-103. Jaylen Brown led the team with 22 points and are currently playing the Trailblazers, and I don't have the score in front of me. The Bruins sent Trent Fredrick and Max Jones to the Edmonton Oilers for a 2nd and 4th round pick. And Max Warner, whoever the fuck that is, losers of 2 straight. The Bruins travel to Raleigh to take on the Hurricanes.
Celtics winning 76-60 over the Trailblazers.
Thank you, Richard. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Right back after this with 10 questions with a guy named Rob.
It's very calming music. I like that.
Thank you.
Really put a lot of work into that headlines today, huh?
There's fucking nothing. We want to talk about spring training baseball.
Yeah, there's interesting storylines in spring training baseball.
What?
I would have went there if I had a little more time today. We could have been talking some baseball.
Noted. Here we go. First question. Should the Pats make Ronnie Stanley the highest paid tackle in the NFL? Because it's probably what it would take to get him there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spent $190 million. Yep. Do it. Do it in a heartbeat.
I kind of feel like if Stanley was going to go back to the Ravens, he would have done it by now. I think he wants that offer. I think he's just waiting for it.
Very rarely do I agree with either of you. Very rarely do I agree with either of you at the same time. But your opening take that you stole from each other of they need to sign as many people at as much positions as possible, so the draft is basically just an add-on. I agree with wholly, and you got more money than God to spend, and left tackle is the most important position. So yeah, just like dump a bag of cash in his ass and bring him over here.
Do you know what Bobby and I also do all the time?
Nope, I actually don't.
Missing on your mother's chest.
Nope. Damn it, too slow for that.
I was wondering where he was going to. I knew it was a mother joke. I was just curious where he was going to land. And
I mean, that's
on her chest, of course.
I didn't think that he was going to talk about that, but it was. I enjoyed it. It was very good. Well, they cut Devon Godshaw if they don't get a trade partner.
Yeah,
they very well could. Yeah,
they want to get rid of the malcontents, like you guys have been saying. Of course, you got to get rid of them.
I think the best that they could hope for at this point, no one's going to trade for him because of the amount that they're paying him. The best they could hope for is trade for some other guy on another team that's also making too much money, but it's just a player that would be at a position of need that they would want to maybe fill a hole instead of a defensive lineman that doesn't fit their scheme. Maybe they get something that they could use. That's probably the best they could hope for. Otherwise, he's getting cut.
Yeah, cutting Godshaw with the salary he has is a Belichickian type of move. I would not put it past Vrabel at all. And he's been the most outspoken about the dysfunction that's been going on. You know, whether rightfully or wrongfully, he's got a sour taste in his mouth for sure. So yeah, move on. Bye-bye. And he's sucked. So.
Yeah. And all he does is complain. What is it?
Hey, dickhead.
What? Why'd you do that?
I didn't do that.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Right. Here we go.
You're both idiots. Very good. Should the Pats kick the tires on Devontae Adams?
Yes. You gotta do it. You gotta kick tires on everyone. You need to get superstars in here, and the only way to do it is to kick tires on everybody.
I don't think Devontae Adams is a superstar anymore, but I mean, if he'll come here, yeah, they just need to get a guy in here for like 2 years. They can hold it down until they get some better young talent, but I don't know how good he is anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ray, your mother's crying. I agree on Devontae Adams. Whatever you're gonna do.
Who's the most underrated player the Pats should make a run at?
I said Josh Palmer from San Diego or LA Chargers. Not a flashy guy, but dependable. I believe he averages 15 yards per reception for the past 2 seasons. So, yeah, Josh Palmer.
I've already used a Ray's mother joke in the segment, so I can't do that. Go ahead, Bobby.
I'll give you a guy, Nick Bolton from the Chiefs, linebacker. I didn't even know this guy was a free agent. They should immediately sign him. He's
Michigan?
a playmaking linebacker that the Patriots haven't had since the last time they won a Super Bowl. They need linebackers bad. They should make him a massive offer.
Outside, I like that move. Outside of the kid from Miami at safety, any other safety available? I've been screaming for a free safety since McCourty left. There's no big names outside of I forget the guy from Miami.
Come on, Holland.
Thank you. So any other name at that position? How's that?
Does the increased cap space help league-wide help the Pats or hurt them?
Doesn't do anything.
Rays gets confused by math.
No, I mean, because there's still people that are in cap jail, like the Chargers, I believe, have to not the Chargers, the Saints have to start cutting people because they are in the negative right now still.
They do that every year. It's how the Saints roll.
Yeah.
It hurts them. It means more money, and it means more real money that the Patriots have to spend and everybody else gets to spend.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Nope.
That means that it's all these other teams that maybe wouldn't have gotten to get 1 or 2 free agents now get to get that extra free agent that maybe they couldn't have gotten.
Every team is playing on the same level, but every individual player just got bumped up X amount, and now you have to compete with that X amount for every other player. So not good.
Another knock for the Pats. Is it more satisfying to clear your nose with a snot rocket or clear your butt with a poop?
Snot rocket.
No. See, I thought the same thing. Both are magical feelings, but there's nothing picturesque like a nice poop that just clears your whole system.
No, but
you made me gag with your fucking text this morning, Ray. It was too descriptive and too gross. And then I had my own case of the hot snakes this afternoon, and a good snot rocket, just a whoop, and it's all out, and it's because you're dripping, and it's annoying.
Yeah, and then you can breathe again. It is a more satisfying, immediate feeling.
Look at the size of Bobby's nose. He must put out fucking missiles.
It also really helps smelling your mother's ass.
Goddamn. Ew. Goddamn tomahawks falling out of the Chief's nose. Whoa.
Very good. Are the Eagles already feeling themselves a little too much by giving Saquon more money for no reason?
Take it easy, Vine. The entire internet fucking hates you for your Eagles takes.
So, yeah.
Fuck the internet. Fuck the Eagles fans. They're assholes. You saw what they did to their own city.
They got fuck you money. They're just giving the guy that rewarding the guy that helped them get a ring. That's all they're doing.
They're doing exactly what I said they were going to do, and they're fucking it up. They think they're so smart. They're like, oh, let's give this running back more fucking money because we're so smart. He's going to blow his knee up. He's literally going to explode on the sideline. It was a dumb move. There was no need to do it. He just signed it. He just gave him money.
Potentially the best GM in sports. Give me a look at that contract. I bet you the guaranteed money is this year, maybe half of it next year, and they can be out of the contract in 2 years. Yes, he's the best player on the team. They need him for their quarterback to be as good as he was. Pay that guy for the next year or two, which is all I guarantee all they've paid him. Whatever the years is fake. The money is up front. It's just cash. Laurie, the owner, it's not his money. It's his uncle's or his stepfather's or something. There's some billionaire that's adjacent.
It's another Grossbeck.
It's a Wick Grossbeck situation. He's not spending his own money. That's why they continue to be good, or at least competitive, and spending more money than any other team in the NFL because it's not the owner's actual money. It's somebody else's. So they just keep.
That's an ideal setup. Why can't I do that?
I'm telling you. Good deal. Good job, Saquon. Best. Should have been the MVP of the league. Should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl. Maybe not Super Bowl.
No. Defensive line should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Thank you. That's what I meant to say.
Yep.
Reports are circulating about New England's archaic way of operating. Is it a real factor in bringing in free agents or just nonsense?
Yeah, because they spend their own money and they're cheap as fucking hell. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are.
And the front office is stunned that no one wants to come here. That's hilarious. Why would anyone want to come here?
And then plus they just lost new agey Gerard Mayo, who was talking about feelings and shit. So now they don't have that going for him either.
Yep.
I will just say none of that actually matters if you start winning, because the Chiefs also rank at the bottom of that, and you don't hear anything from them. So it was all, nothing has changed. It's been the same organization, the same ownership when they were winning Super Bowls. So
Don't worry, we have a top 5 quarterback coming up.
I put a, you put a little bias on all of that stuff. Look at the bottom of the teams outside the Chiefs. Like if you suck, you're gonna think things suck a little bit worse than they actually do, and they suck. So they should spend more money. They don't. I get that, but it's not the end of the world. Win, it won't matter.
Should they prioritize offense or defense in free agency?
Defense. Defense wins championships. You got to bolster that line. Make sure you can get to the quarterback. That's the blueprint. That's how they beat the Chiefs. The Eagles did. So yeah, you should try to copy that motto.
I just say defense because there's more. It just seems like there's more better defensive free agents. That's just where the talent is. So they should just get that talent. They just need to get what's available, and there's just better players.
Your biggest needs are on offense, so you need stuff everywhere, but you need
you need it all. But yeah,
you need a left tackle, and you need a wide receiver, which are 2 of the top 3 positions in football. So you're just like you're going to default to the answer being offense. You're going to have to focus your energy on left tackle and wide receiver. But again, you need a lot of help elsewhere. Who's a better? Let me follow up on this. Who's a better coach, Josh McDaniels or Mike Vrabel? Offense, defense.
I mean, who's a better defensive coach or who's a better offensive coach?
Yeah, is Mike Vrabel better at coaching the defense, or is McDaniels better at coaching the offense? Who needs more help?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say that Vrabel would need more help in doing that, honestly.
Agreed.
I think as a bad team and currently constituted, Josh McDaniels needs help on the offensive line and at least one reliable guy for Drake May to throw the ball to stay competitive. If they can be in ball games 24-27, I trust Josh McDaniels to do that, and I trust Mike Vrabel as a defensive coach to get some guys together to hold the team to 24 points. So again, I follow offense there.
How many players do the Pats need to hit on in free agency to make a real difference in the field?
Ray can't count that high.
20.
Yeah.
Pretty much Drake May and Christian Gonzalez are the only 2 that are like home runs right now. Everyone else, they can be fucking see you later. You need to fucking hit on 20.
They need like 12 to 15 guys that are going to play real roles for the team.
Yep.
9, 10, 11. Yeah. I mean, I just went 11 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Free safety, second cornerback, all your linebackers, defensive, at least one defensive lineman, 2 offensive tackles, probably an offensive guard, 2 wide receivers. Yep, that's 11 or 12.
Yeah, no, they need minimum those people to make impact. So they need an ass load.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
No, we're not going to do it. We already did a lot of other jokes.
No, it's all right.
Got it. Okay. Quick break. We'll talk a little Bruins when we get back. Trent Fredrick and Max Jones were traded to the Oilers for a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-rounder in return, and a defensive prospect named Max Warner. I've been following him. He's pretty good. He's pretty good at what he
just does. Don't know his name. Yeah.
Yep. Trent Fredrick, a former 1st-round pick for the Boston Bruins, was about to walk in free agency. Here's what this tells me. Outside of what it means for the Bruins, it tells me it's a seller's market. And if you're the Bruins who need to sell, good, because you've got some guys that you can dish off, and they should start doing it basically immediately. You've got when is the deadline? Friday,
the 7th. Yep.
This comes out Friday, so the deadline's today, and they may have already made some moves at this point. I put some names in the email here, but our text chain gives you some more.
No, we stopped looking at the text exchange.
Oh, okay. I can bring it up for you. So just do me a favor and rank these guys.
Oh, we got someone other than Patrick.
It's
Aladdin.
Bruins, sell more than must sell. Yes, you must sell. All right, let's rank these guys. Do it in the text chain, everybody listening. Rank these trade candidates based on what wanting to get rid of them. Bob, you don't have to play this game. You can take
Thank
it.
God. Oh, good.
You wanting to get rid of them, and then also what you could get in return. Okay, Raymond?
Mm-hmm.
Try and pay attention. I know you're a visual learner, but try and keep these. If you want to put them in the ledger, write them down. Marchand, Pasternak, Swayman, McAvoy, Brandon Carlo, Coyle, Geeky, Hampus Lindholm. Throw whoever you want in there if you want.
You could probably get first round talent for most of those guys. When you get to Coyle, Geeky, even Hampus, I don't think you're going to get a first round talent grade for him because he's sucked since he's been here, since coming over from Anaheim. But
he's hurt. And when you say most, like the definition of most for you is one.
No, most of those guys. Like Marchand, you're going to get a first.
I see.
Pasternak, you're going to get a first. Swayman, you're going to get a first. All those guys, if you're going to go for a complete rebuild, you're going to try to get first round talent for all those guys.
I see. Okay. Let me take this back. Clearly, you weren't paying attention. Jeremy Swayman can't be traded. He's the worst goalie, statistically the worst goalie in the NHL. He just signed an 8-year deal worth $8 million. He's the top 5 paid goalie in the NHL, and he's the worst fucking goalie in the NHL. You couldn't trade that guy if you put a ball sack full of gold in his fucking mask. No one's taking that bag of dog shit that went to you're muted, idiot.
How much is a ball sack worth of gold?
Depends on how big your ball sack is.
That's why I'm asking. I'm very interested in this. I could be making a lot
Here's
of money.
how you want to do this. And I'm gonna I agreed with, I'm going off the text chain, and I agreed with our good friend the Queen Bill. Number one guy they should look to move, which they probably won't, although there are rumors out there that the Colorado Avalanche would like to trade for this man and Sidney Crosby to go team up with them and go for a cup. Brad Marchand, captain, been here for 20 whatever years. He's the perfect rental for any championship aspiring team. He can go in there, make a difference, championship pedigree, blah, blah, blah. You should be able to get a first round pick, probably a mid-level prospect for him. That might be stretching it because of his age, and he's currently injured. But that guy should be on the move. He's got a full no trade clause, and he doesn't want to leave, so it probably won't happen. And the Bruins have never traded a guy of his ilk. But that's where I'd start with.
You got to start with the Belichick. That's a Belichick. Sorry, I don't want you to move any further. That's a Belichick move. You got to sell a guy a year early. Yeah, he's not, he hasn't digressed that bad yet in his career. But if you sell him now, you get top dollar for him. And I think he has like 2 years left, and he's done.
I love you for trying, Ray. His top was about 4 years ago, but
no. He's still there. He still can make a difference on any.
Who's that? He had 2 fucking hip surgeries like a year and a half ago. He's never been the same. He fucking flamed out in the playoffs last year. It's okay, man. You still be able to get a first for him just because that's what the going rate is.
I said that too, right?
Top 6 forwards at the trade deadline at the NHL. Keep trying though. Here's the guy that really should move. That you high second pick. Dare I say a first if they get the right guy? Brandon Carlo. Brendan Carlo should not be a Boston Bruin by the time this releases. That guy's got to go, okay? He's got to go. You can't move Hampus Lindholm. He's hurt. Charlie McAvoy, we can talk the big names. We can go McAvoy. We can go Pasternak. Bruins aren't going to move on from those guys, and they don't want to go anywhere. It's too big of a deal. McAvoy's hurt, so they can't really talk about it. Hampus Lindholm, he should go too, but he's hurt for the rest of the season, so they can't move him. No one's going to take that on at the rental. The other guy, that should go for whatever you want, Charlie Coyle. Time to move on from him. Nice little run here. Whatever you can get back for him, let's clear that salary. The interesting guy on this list is Geeky, who's having a career year, just potted his 20th goal. You've got upside and a team looking to make a difference going into the playoffs. Might look at him as a spark. I think he's got term. I think he's a restricted guy next year. So, you're borderline first or second pick right there. So you're kind of on the nose, right? You may be looking at high end 3 first-round picks if you can move Marchand, Carlo, and Geeky, plus whatever fodder for Coyle. And I think that's the minimum that you should look to do. It's a lot. It's a lot to do at one trade deadline. I don't think they get it all done, especially Marchand. But
no, because you have to bring up guys from Providence and shit. Yeah,
Carlo, Coyle, and Geeky, like. That's a decent start to a retool or a rebuild that they should be looking to do. And
is there anyone that they think the front office is saying is untouchable right now?
Pasternak and probably McAvoy because
that's why I thought so too. I thought those are the 2 only untouchable guys.
Yeah, McAvoy is probably your next captain. You guys hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
You got a big old thunderstorm coming through.
I thought that was your mother's ass clapping.
Frightened me a little bit. You would. So there you go. There's your Boston Bruins trade deadline. When this releases, I guess we'll see who's right, who's wrong. I would fully expect them probably to do
Nothing.
not
Absolutely.
even half of that, but we'll see. Bobby, final thoughts on the Bruins.
Hope everything's okay with the big thunderstorm over there.
All right, thanks. We'll be right back with Big Mac's Big Brain. Did Peyton Pritchard score 50 points tonight?
No, he's up to like 37. I looked. Fucking Aladdin. He lied to me.
Damn it, Aladdin.
Yeah.
This is why I don't look at the comments when we are doing a show.
I have two possibilities. I'm going to give you the first one, and then I have another one. Ready?
What is the background that this looks like scrotum smashed together, like a bag of dicks just smashed together behind us? It's a scrotum. With eyes.
It's a brain.
Oh, my bad.
It's a brain. First question. Do you control your brain or does your brain control you?
Wow. I didn't know we were getting this deep.
So good.
I didn't know we were getting this deep.
I'm just asking.
That is actually a good question, Raymond. Wow. So are you, first of all, it begs the question is, are you your brain or are you something else other than your brain? What is it?
Well, it goes into the question, what is consciousness?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you conscious?
Well, you are conscious but is consciousness a part of the ether, a part of the energy? Is consciousness your
Simply
own
the electronic signals that emit your brain here?
Yeah. I think in the vacuum of your question, your brain controls you.
Because your brain also operates on a level which we don't understand fully. It's only like 8% or whatever of the brain that we currently use. If we used it all, we'd be psychic, and I'd be controlling you from here.
Yeah. Also, like for you to say you control your brain would have to say that you have an ounce of discipline, which, looking at you, obviously we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Just like last night when I called you a fatty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Also, probably the reason why you haven't shaved in several days. I'm assuming. What the fuck's going on there?
Just trying to grow up a little bit over here, you know.
Really?
Let's go.
Nothing grows up there unless you're like an absolute maniac.
Yeah, I just haven't.
I'll be still working on the
on the
the
8th
line.
grade fucking lion.
Letting it come.
No. Second question.
Coming to your mother's chest last night. Damn it.
Second question: are animals racist?
Ooh.
I think that's obvious.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You think so? How do they communicate? How do they communicate that they don't like the certain type of breed of dog? Or breed
They
of
bite
cat?
them. They bite them.
Oh, you mean racist towards other animals?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like dogs, like not liking black people.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant too. Yeah.
Well, they're scared. That's why. They're very scared.
Who's they? Who's they, Ray?
The African American race.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. That was the other one. That was it.
That was good. That was thought provoking. We're right back with Simplest Minds of the Week.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
But I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
Several candidates tonight. I don't think I'll do the last one on here. That might be good enough for its own segment.
That was fucking deep.
I got to do a little more research on that. See if we can bring it back. Maybe Bobby will be interested in doing some actual work at some point, and we can bring back Spirit Walk. But maybe not. We'll see. We'll tease it. We'll see how far we get. The first one on here, the Dallas Mavericks.
I'm going to play this clip, but you can keep talking because there's no music or anything. So go ahead.
Okay. This is just anybody listening, a clip of
Derek Lively, Anthony Davis,
grabbing his balls,
and Kyrie Irving, all injured after the Luka Doncic trade.
Lively was injured before, I think, but either way.
They're all fucking hurt. The team
Look,
sucks.
the Dallas Mavericks will go down if we do a annual Simplest Minds of the Year. Nico Collins and the Dallas Mavericks are going to go on here. However, I don't know if I've said this on the show or just in our text chain. This isn't an act of true stupidity and ignorance. This is a leverage move by the new greedy Huas, who are the owners of the Mavericks, who want to put a casino with their stadium. When this first came out, like full-blown, sound like conspiracy theory, fun to listen to, but maybe not real. And the more shit that happens with the Dallas Mavericks, the more real it becomes. Just completely flipping a team that went to the NBA Finals, had a generational talent in Luka Doncic, and now, I mean, obviously they can't control injuries, unless maybe they can. I don't know. Voodoo is real. And now they're just tanking their franchise. They weren't going to sign Kyrie this year. They weren't going to extend a 32-year-old Anthony Davis. They were tanking that franchise into the ground to leverage the state of Texas and the city of Dallas, that they're going to ship their asses out of the city unless they change the state laws in Texas to allow fucking gambling, which, you almost respect them for taking on that challenge. And at this point, it's still a conspiracy theory.
Texas is like the one state that legitimately they'll be like, under no fucking circumstance will we do this. And the state of Texas will find a way to make their life extremely more difficult.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of minorities on basketball teams. They probably don't even want them there anyway in Texas. Like, get them out.
They also raised ticket prices for next year 8%. So that is another shot at the Maverick fans. You get rid of Luka here.
The Texas government's like, basketball's for queers anyway. Get them out of here.
We down here.
So they're from Brooklyn?
What kind of Texas Brooklyn accent? As you can't throw a pigskin, boy. I don't want to hear. Fire that pigskin, boy. The ticket prices is the Simplest Minds of the Week move, though. Right. Yeah. Way to bring that home.
Yep.
But again, it might be like a sly, sneaky Simplest Minds. Like, no one's going to buy these. The value of our franchise is going to go to hell. We're going to leverage this for some stupid, rich fucking tax loophole that, our brains are too stupid to realize. Yeah, I'm buying into that. I'm buying into that. Why else would you operate in this way? Like, you can't be that blatantly bad at your job. Maybe. And here's the next one. Good old classic nut shot.
Let's see what he did.
The official's talking about it right now. And he did.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
Everybody listening, look.
see what he did.
The official's talking about it right
Is
now.
this college? High school or college? And the defender just punches the guy in the dick.
That's a high school move if I've ever seen one.
That's a Raymond Langevin high school move if I've ever seen one.
Yep. Mark Chamberlain, hey, go foul that guy. You got it.
I've seen that more than once on several playing fields from a young Langevin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's super gay, I know.
We'll end it there. This has been Semi Sports Show Friday Rewind live March 5th. We will see you next time. Again, rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends. See you on this. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.